107 Ferndale Radio. It's Dave Kim here in Corktown, Detroit's historic Corktown district, outside of the Lager House, because tonight Elise Trouw is headlining the Lager House. She's with me right now, obviously. It's been a minute. It's been 2023. You were at the Marble Bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a big tour, a big week for you, because it's not even 2 days old. Your second studio album, The Diary of Elon Lust. How nervous were you going up to the release dates?
I mean, with the release of the album, we've been so focused on getting ready for the tour, it almost slipped my mind in a way that it was even coming out, because we've been just rehearsing so hard. We spent a week all together just kind of getting, because it's a bigger production than what I'm normally doing. The last show at Marble Bar, I did a live looping set, so that's just me on stage with a couple instruments, and kind of has its own technical difficulties, but this show is kind of a turn from where I've been in the past. So I have two dancers, a band with me, so it's bigger production, but yeah, I'm really excited that the album's out now.
I want to get to that about the evolution of your style, but I do since we're in Detroit, I want to compliment you about your Seven Nation Army cover.
Oh, cool.
I think that's probably 4 or 5 years old now, but still, there are not a lot of great Seven Nation Army covers. So the fact that you guys are able to do it justice, that organist, kudos to him too for getting that riff, but that was really cool. But yeah, so the Diary of Elon Lust concept, it's hard to do a concept album, and the fact that you've done one so incredibly well is amazing. And as you were saying, prior to this tour, you do a lot. Basically, you're on stage by yourself. I think when you kicked it off in Wichita,
mm-hmm.
I saw dancers on stage, someone else behind the drums,
mm-hmm.
and my mind was kind of blown, actually, going, whoa. So, I mean, was that tough to kind of let go of that control?
In some ways, yeah. I mean, it's a pretty different mindset for me, with the live looping. I'm definitely a perfectionist in both ways, in both worlds, but I mean, the band that I'm with is great. I really trust the drummer, and his taste, he's really great. So, yeah, I mean, during rehearsals, we just worked out the songs. We're kind of trying to play it like the record. The show is the record front to back, and so, yeah, it's just been kind of a different process for me working with a band in that way, because normally it's just me, alone in my room rehearsing for hours and hours and hours. So
right.
This was a little bit more okay, I gotta send them the parts, make sure this is working, work on this, so yeah, it's been a cool process, and I love getting to stand in front and really perform the songs, where with the looping I'm a little bit more kind of busy doing a bunch of stuff. Yes. And now I feel I can really deliver the lyrics and the music, and I really trust the band that I'm with.
I mean, I'm not kidding, you're one of the hardest working artists in the biz. And you started out so young. I mean, you made your late night debut on Jimmy Kimmel at what? You were in 2018, so you were 18.
Yeah.
That's insane. And to see the way you've matured, this album. So for those who aren't familiar with the concept of the Diary of Elon Lust, it's kind of taken the misogyny that you've faced and turning that against all these. I mean, let's be faced, all these pieces of shit that been telling you these things. And it's an incredible way to do this. The character of Elon Lust, and you said before we were rolling, you said this was a 5-year journey. How did this all start? How did this all come together? Because you said it was lyrics are from literally words said to you and your friends.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the song titles. So, I mean, it started, I probably wrote the first song for it 7 years ago, and it was kind of just a joke thing where, a guy said something kind of rude, but also kind of funny to me, and I'm okay, I'm gonna make a joke song out of this just for fun. And so, the titles, a lot of the titles of the songs are direct quotes, and then of course the rest of the lyrics are kind of just expanding on those ideas. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it is based on just kind of casual day-to-day misogyny and stuff like that. And just those experiences and trying to turn them into something fun, but also just, to express kind of what that feels like to experience.
I think that's a great way that you've turned the negative into a positive. I still think it's incredibly sad that you had to go through all that in 2020. Well, you worked on it a while back, but still, it's 2026. I'm sure, I don't even want to imagine what your DMs are like. I'm sure you can make a sequel album to this. Because and yeah, I definitely believe you, because in A Little Blood, the lyrics of, I've played a lot of Call of Duty, so I don't mind your bloody little booty. I can picture these little jackasses saying that, which is insane. So you also said when you were announcing the album that it was to bring it to the public eye, to laugh about it, also to make people feel uncomfortable, which I was like, I get that too, because I was thinking, say, whether I was just meeting people for the first time in this new setting where you're trying to break the ice, people ask, oh, what's one of your favorite songs? Where if I'm trying to be truthful in my heart, I'm gonna be I would say, oh, I like my women shaved. That's a bop. That beat, that production is incredible. But I don't think I would say that publicly, which I think is the point, right? Of when you said trying to make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, the experience, it's funny, what you said earlier about DMs. Actually, most of these songs are just based on experiences I've had in person with people around me, and I think as much, it's something these experiences are not exclusive to me, and it's
right.
A lot of women, it's I would guess most women are having these experiences just in a casual day-to-day way. And yeah, I mean about making people uncomfortable, my kind of thought behind it was if someone can say this to me, why can't I sing it back in a song?
Right.
And so it's I've been uncomfortable for my entire adult life.
Yes.
So I'm just kind of putting that feeling into the music and trying to also, give a sense of whimsy with it in a way.
Yeah. So the music videos for the Diary of Elon Lust, I also, in my opinion, something you've never really done before with all of these, with your previous music videos. So the creative process for storyboarding all these things, was that a difficult process for you, or did you have a team that kind of how you wanted to bring these songs to life visually?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so early on in the process, I had this kind of vision of it being this colorful, theatrical type thing, and I love the gold motif because to me Elon Lust is very entitled, and he puts himself first, and so just the idea of being first place, it's everything he owns is gold. His gloves are gold, his shoes are gold, he's kind of the chosen one in a way, and it's everything revolves around him. And so I had that kind of concept early on, and then when I started working with the label that I'm putting this album out through, Midtopia, we did some branding meetings, and I kind of just was okay, here's all my ideas for this, a bunch of boards of different images and kind of concepts, and okay, I like this character, this character, this character, and they kind of helped me sculpt that vision, and yeah, and just throughout the process of the music videos and stuff like that, it's just kind of been, I've tried to keep the mindset of what do I want to see, what do I like, and try not to think too much about sort of, I don't know, just the in the past, maybe I've been a bit more careful about what I put out, with trying to not be upsetting, I guess. But with this, I'm okay, what do I want to hear? What do I want to see? And that's what I'm making. And so I feel really proud of it.
So I wanted to ask about that. When you first brought up the concept of the Diary of Elon Lust to your close to, whether it's your label, management, friends, family, did you get any pushback of maybe they think, oh, people aren't going to take this record seriously, they'll think it's parody, or you might alienate a part of your fan base? Definitely,
yeah. I mean, it's pretty mixed reviews. My parents have been very supportive the entire time. They've said, oh, this is great. And I've had some people say, this is maybe put this out anonymously, or, maybe don't put this out, or wait to put this out, or, oh, it's good, but this, or, kind of, there were very mixed responses. But then on the other side of that, there were also people who were this is my favorite work that you've ever made. This is genius. I love this so much. So it was already like just even within like the people I was showing it to before releasing it kind of like mixed, and I was like, okay, like that's cool, like that's it felt risky, but throughout the whole process, like I'm like, okay, I stand behind this, so I'm gonna put it out even though it might be a bit more extreme, the responses, you know?
Yeah, maybe not the most accessible Elise Trouw record, like, because obviously Unraveling came out 2017, so 9 years is a long gap. You clearly were releasing music in between then, whether it's singles, collabs with other people, even your EP, Losing Sleep. For the Diary of Elon Lust, if we did want you to introduce someone who never listened to your music before and who had an open mind, what would be the song you would use to introduce them to?
To this project?
Yes. Or I guess to your music. What's the gateway to the rest of your music?
Yeah, I mean, I think for this project, like I tried to pick the singles kind of in a way that made sense. Like All You Need Is Lust to me is sonically sort of in the zone of my previous work. The Perfect Girl also.
Yes.
And that one's a little bit less like out there lyrically compared to like I Like My Women Shaved, A Little Blood. Those are those teeter more into comedy and that zone, and then some of the other songs are a bit more serious, not serious, but like a little darker.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think for this record, actually, like the song Gentleman is one that I think people, like, when they listen to that one, they really, like, immediately get the concept, and it's kind of encapsulates who Elon Lust is as a character.
Yeah. You know what made me, when I listened to Gentleman, it made me think of, like, all the, like, early to mid-2000s emo music that I listened to. It's like, because it's hard listening to that stuff now, or, like, a lot of hip-hop music I listened to back in the day, because it's like, oh, this is kind of problematic, or like, yeah, this sounds like the whole, like, trying to be the gentleman or the white knight type of thing, which I imagine those are the kind of emotions you're trying to evoke from people when they listen to this record. So we talk about the evolution of Elise Trouw from what I love about listening to this album. The foundation of you is still there. That heavenly toned voice is still there, but it sounds more refined when you listen to Unraveling. Was that just you just growing up, or did you actually put like more of a conscious effort to be a sharper, to like work on your vocals or train more or things like that?
Oh yeah, I mean with this project, like a lot of the process of like I learned a lot about production, because like a good portion of the album I self-produced. A couple of them are co-productions, but yeah, through that was like really kind of pushing my voice in a certain way, not really range as much as just delivery. Like I wanted to have a sound that was a little different than what I'd done before. So like that, for me, what that meant was like enunciating a little bit more clearly, and like Elon kind of having his own voice in a way which is more just a little more like crisp and a little bit more aggressive at times, and a little whinier and a little bit more like just a little more expressive in certain ways. So yeah, that was something I definitely like, I'd just be sitting like re-recording parts thinking like, okay, how am I gonna deliver this? Like, is this too much? Is this not enough? And
Right.
With my previous recordings, I'd kind of go for a very like soft, airy kind of like smooth sound. And so some of these songs I've kind of tried to push into other zones.
Yeah, I definitely hear, at least to me, more confidence with this record, even with your 2023 EP, and just as you've gradually progressed. But I want to touch on the live looping. Obviously, what really put you on the map. I mean, 25 million views for the Foo Fighters and Bobby Caldwell video, millions of views on a lot of these other mashups. But you're evolving and you're growing. Are there times where you kind of want to leave that a little, put that in the back burner? Because even on your latest YouTube video, when you were trying to solicit Ask Me Anything questions, saw so many of the comments going, do more, when are you going to do more live looping music videos? Do you ever have burnout from that?
From live looping?
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, like at this moment, I've been working on the Elon Lust record for so long. I'm starting to kind of get an itch to like, okay, I feel like now I've learned a lot, even through the production of this. Like I could go back and do live looping like even better. And I'm like, I still have a passion for it. There was at one point like doing the live looping live is kind of a technical nightmare in some
I
ways.
imagine so. I
And
can't
because
even.
of the live drum looping, especially, just because
Yeah.
of the like trying to get the balance of the like live acoustic sound with the playback of the loop once it's recorded is kind of difficult. So like in this setting, in this live setting, it's kind of a breath of fresh air for me. But I just try to not think too much about like. I feel like any artist is going to go through that experience where, you know, they put out one thing and people like that thing, and then they're going to, whether it's sonically change or visually change or thematically change, they'll always kind of be like, oh, we missed this. And it's like that thing still exists. And I don't see this as, Elon Lust is like it's a concept album. So it's like, it's not like a permanent direction of any kind, but it is like still very much part of the bigger picture of my artistry. Just kind of, you know, a different type of expression.
Yeah. So, what is the future after? I know the record just came out, but going into future projects, will you continue just having bandmates with you on the road or working with you on records instead of having that kind of solo approach to it?
I think I would love to, like, my goal ultimately would be to tour have part of the set live looped and part of it with a band, because I love the live looping for some reasons, but it really doesn't do certain songs justice in terms of dynamics. And so in some of my, songs, I'm using backing tracks when I'm doing my live looping show, just because, I don't write songs to be looped. And so there's kind of sometimes a difficulty with arranging those, like a song that's written into a loop format, because there's just not enough like time to loop every single part, right? So, so ultimately I would love to have a band with me on tour, and then also, and the funny thing is, like, the reason I got into live looping in the first place was because I wanted to tour, and on the tour I wanted to play drums and sing, and I'm like, how do I do that? Like,
right.
If you're a guitarist, you just go out and play guitar and you sing, but if you're a singing drummer, it's like, okay, I gotta have bandmates or tracks, and then I'm like, okay, it's kind of like this middle option, which is live looping. So that's kind of how I got into that, was because I was planning on going on tour, and then that sort of became something that I was known for, just because of the some of the videos being popular. But then, I've grown to like really love doing it. So I'm like, okay, like my live show does feel a little incomplete without it. But at the same time, I love having a band.
Last question. So when you think back to the little girl, the little Elise who wanted to learn how to play My Immortal on piano, and who, when you played Rock Band, you had that epiphany going, I want to be a rock star, I want to be a musician. Where you're at now, is the path there how you envisioned it when you were younger, or did it take a lot of different zigzags?
The truth is, I never really envisioned anything in particular. I didn't have any concept of like, oh, I want to play this size venue or be famous in this way or be this or that, or and so those parts of it, I remember when I was 18, I did Kimmel, I ended up in all these label meetings with managers and this and that. They're like, well, so where do you see yourself in 5 years? I never have an answer. I don't know, I guess I just don't think that way. I'm not really thinking ahead always, especially at that age. I wasn't.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And so I was kind of just following what felt right and what felt fun for me. And so that always, since I was 5 years old, it's always been music in different formats. So, it's at first it was piano, then it was drums. Then I was like, okay, I want to be a touring drummer. That was my goal for a while. Then I made Unraveling and kind of was like, okay, now I'm doing the solo artist thing. Then I started doing the Elon Lust stuff. I'm like, okay, this is a pivot, but I guess I don't know if that's a real answer, but
it is.
Yeah, it's I just try not to. I try not to plan too far ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elise, thank you so much. Elise Trouw, new album, The Diary of Elon Lust, is out now. Go pick it up. If she's playing in a city near you, buy the physical, buy the merch, support the artist you love. It's Dave Camp for 107 Ferndale Radio.